Guys, and it's book time. Today we're going to be rating these Tower of Doom, like the things that help you, not like the books that help you, these. So the first one is Anarch's Wizard Cat. It's not really useful. It's not quite bad, not useful for enemies. It only gives you 2 wisdom, and when you're low health and you have this, you're pretty not lucky. Or else, yeah, you're pretty much going to lose with this. I'm just going to put it here because it's legendary. So this one, I wouldn't even recommend, even if it's early game. Do not collect this if it's early game, or else you're not going to even get all of this. So I'm going to put it here. The bandage is good. It's quite good for defeating enemies if you think about it, because oh yeah, so if you have low health, like probably 20, and then have this right before boss battles, and then you get 35 health, you're lucky. It's quite good for defeating enemies. The Captain Encore can, even though it only does 1 damage, it's useful because when you're in the blue stages and you have this and you take a slight 1 damage and then you get no damage. The only downside is their streak doesn't collapse. I guess it's okay. Now this one, yeah, it's not quite useful. It's only 5 health. Now this is quite. I know this isn't making a lot of sense because the uncommons are at the top and the legendaries at the bottom. This might not make sense. I'm just going to put the Captain Encore here, Anchor here. And the chess pieces are having to deal 4 damage are quite useful because suppose you and a boss like are battling in the 3rd stage, and then it's a tie. The boss loses 4 damage. It's a useful way. Now this coupon, yeah, it's not really good because 10% off is not much. I guess it's not too bad. Now this cursed hourglass. Wow, wow, wow. I'm just going to put this here. Wow. Take 3. You would get a lot of damage if you have this. This is not a very bad one. Now Dave's doggo. It's quite good for defeating enemies because the question mark stages are good, and the question mark stages are not really much, and you can easily avoid them. One pickup gain 100 coins. This is really useful if you're like running out of coins. I'm going to say it's really good. Wow. The farm tractor next. I'm just going to put this okay. Seriously, that's not really useful because for bosses, because when you get 2 times damage and then somehow lucky, then it's not really useful. But if you wanna like decrease your health as much and then there's a shop right before the boss, then that would be good. Let's just put it here. Just a bone. I'll just put this here too. The king's crown goes here. Now this is good if you're yeah, because first when you're in the end game with a boss, and then the boss and you has like below 20 health, I'm just going to say it's really good. Now lucky feather. I wonder what happens if you like combine the lucky feather and the great Dave's doggo. But I'm just going to assume it still goes bad. So I'm just going to say, I'm just going to put it here. And then that goes here. Okay, this is really good, but because first when you combat, like if you defeat an enemy or attack it, you keep constantly getting health, and then that will be really useful, and then you get 100 in no time. Unless you have the boss. The next one is so the block first damage, you would take every combat. That's really good because for bosses, I'll just put it for quite good for defeating enemies. The piggy bank is, yeah, it's not really good because 6 coins is really little, and I'm pretty sure that isn't even enough to buy a common one. But I'm just going to put this here, and then next is the pink hippo. Yeah, okay, so I won. So it does 2 strands for yours. I'm pretty sure it's just strength and Krasmania. And then what happens next is, that's quite good. That probably explains why it's legendary. And Crossmania, you usually get a lot, but if Crossmania's cut, I'm going to put it here, but otherwise I'll just put it here because that's good. I'll just put the scarred scroll here. The steel socks will be, it's okay, I guess, because 2 damage is not much. The survival guide is quite good, but it's not good as the medical kit. Because wait, I think. Wait a sec. I think this is heal for 3 after. So it turns out you will get 15 health. I'm just going to put it back in quite good for defeating enemies. One in rest stage. The tasty head, if you're like low health, it would be useful. I'm just going to put it, it's okay. Not too good for not for too bad. And the toxic waste is epic. I think this means like if an enemy defeats you, like you get twice the damage, and if you defeat an enemy, you do twice the damage. When you're in a boss, I don't. This is like okay, but when you're like defeating other enemies, I would put it for this. So I'll just put this here. Now, last but not least, the training weights. 2 stats when upgrading a card in rest stage. That would mean 4 stats. So the goldfish, it would be useful for books like the goldfish. But for the wizard, that would be 13, 14, and yeah, it would make uncommons like epics. But I'll just put it here. Anyways, this is the tire. And remember, some people might not agree with all of this. So then like and subscribe and see you tomorrow.